Today is day 3, which is easy because it's April 3rd today, and we're doing another abstract scene. This is the image that I'm going to be working from, and I have pulled out my Derwent XL, which I got from Lou. She said she wasn't using them, so she sent them over to me, and I thought I would use those plus some white gouache, and I've got some acrylics as well here, so we're kind of going to do a little bit of everything because that's the fun of it. And I'm going to work on a sheet of paper, and this time I am going to paint it and then cut it all up. And show you that way, because I think I did that on my first day, which was day 1, but I actually broke it down before I actually painted it. There are some really interesting and lovely abstracts being made. I just want to pull you guys up on my live to make sure that I can see who's here. Sorry, it takes a little bit of time. So if you did say hi already, say hi again so that I know that you're here with us. And hopefully the internet is working today. Good morning, Meryl. Hi. Oh, you're up early. Lovely. And then yesterday's was this. And I really like how this turned out. But I'm sharing on my stories. So if you tag me, then I will share your abstract April if you're working on these images with us. Hi, good morning, Leslie. But go back into their accounts. The lovelies that I share, our creative family are creating some amazing images. Lou did a lovely breakdown. Not Lou, Louise in England did a lovely breakdown of her abstract and how she was working on it. And it's very similar to how I feel about how you can break down a traditional image and make it more abstract. So that's really interesting. And then I think Hippo was going to do her breakdown on her YouTube channel, either her YouTube channel or her Substack. Good morning, Nanette. Yeah, so I'm going to get started. I'm going to basically paint this scene that we have. This is the image, and this is a scene from Colorado that Jennifer Caballeras, she sent over to us. And I love the colors. So, okay, so this is where you really have to look at an image. When you zoom in, if you can zoom in, you've got all these beautiful purples and almost like that orangey purple, and then you've got your grays and your yellows, and then all the greens, and then you've got these colors down here as well. So, you know, there's a lot going on in this piece, but I think we can break it down as well. So I will start, and I'm just going to get some. I'm going to make some space on my table because I really do have to like make a big space today on my table for this, because it is definitely a project that needs a lot of space. So I'm gonna do that. Give myself a good hour and make a bigger space on my table. Did you hear that? Something fell off and I have to be careful because Piper is underneath here, and no, she's not gonna eat a glue stick. I think I'm okay. Hi, Barbara. Hi, Sarah. Good morning, Carolyn. How are you? All right. I have some yellow acrylic inks, and they are on their way out, so I can use them for this. As you can see, this one is out. It's very light. That's right. I'm gonna use what I can from it. Does everybody or anybody save their bottles? I don't know if it would be beneficial to save bottles. Like maybe if I'm making some acrylics and that are a little bit watery, I could maybe save that. Not sure. Anybody? The nice thing about acrylic inks is that they're usually at the consistency, the right consistency for you to do something like this. I'm just adding some water in here. I know that they're not reactive, so there is a little bit of pigment that is lifting from in this bottle. What I think I may do, because this is going to help me, if I can find it, is get some tape. Hang on 1 second. And the bottles that are empty, because they don't, okay, so with acrylic ink, it becomes very opaque, the bottle. So I haven't, like, I would never have known, only by sound, if there was anything in here. So I think I'm just going to put tape on the bottles that are empty, and this way I can still use them. But I can at least save myself the disappointment of nothing being in there. Okay, here there is a little bit, so I'm gonna add some more here. And because I'm using acrylic, I'm going to use acrylic white to add to this. So this part, I'm trying to be quick about this part of the process because I want to add all the other details to it. Good morning, Melissa. How are you? Happy Thursday. It's art hang party today. And Melissa she runs Art Hang Party, if you don't know Melissa, on YouTube every Thursday at 7 p.m. And today is macro. I will come for a little bit. My daughter is home for the day, so I'm not sure what we are planning. So I'll try and come for sure. All right, so this one, there's a little bit left in that one. I can leave that one. Okay, so I'm going to get some green down here, and then I'll put the purple up there and the trees. Happy Thursday. Good morning, Reb. Bonjour, Hippo. And hi, Nick. Good evening. How are you? Okay. Also, when you're revisiting a palette, don't always remember what the colors are. So this is also good for me to practice with different, or to use different mediums, because I know that I haven't used these for a while. So I'm probably going to be surprised a little bit too. Okay, I've got a green. Now, we've talked about this green. It is supposed to be fluorescent, but it really isn't. So I'm going to put some of that on as well for the grass. Melissa says, no stress, daughter time over AHP always. Thanks. We'll see. She may have other plans. She may, she may want to go and see her friends as well. So she may not want to hang out with me, and that's absolutely fine too. So we'll see. We will see. So if you are doing our monthly challenge and you are part of our subscribers on Substack, you'll have this photo, and I'm gonna mix up some purple, but I want to put the purple over here so that it's not mixing in with my Derwents. I need like a cart right next to me. And I do have a cart. I should probably pull it over in the morning just so that I can free up some space on my table. That would be a really good idea, wouldn't it? Melissa, you said you have a cart that you use. It's handy to have that. All right. I'm gonna wash my brush off. So I'm using these Derwents as my pigment. So these are the big XL. See, I need also, maybe I should raise my camera a little bit in the mornings because then you can see a little bit more of my table. I know that Melissa said, oh, have you done I will do a little video of my studio, but I do need to clean up a few things first. Only because I don't know where things are, so if I'm going to do a video, I need to know exactly where things are. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of the Derwent here, and then this way I can pull that in with the acrylic. Because I want to be able to go over it either with a water-soluble, like whether it's gouache, but this way, this is going to be permanent in the background. I know that some people have already done their day 3s, and they're looking pretty fantastic. Is everybody enjoying their abstract month so far? I know we've only had 3 days so far. Okay, I'm going to bring a little bit more of this white into where I've added a little bit of yellow. So yellow and purple make a really nice gray, and depending on your purple, it can either be warm or cool, and I needed it to be a little bit more cool up here, so this works for the clouds. And there's some reflection down here as well in this water. Actually, there's a lot of reflection of the sky, so I'm just going to block that in. Good morning, Susan. Hello, Natty. Natty says, exhaustively tired. We had bad thunderstorms in the middle of the night. More to come today. Natty, where are you again? Aren't you Ontario as well? Are you Ontario? Oh my God. I woke up like 3 times last night. Big, massive bangs. Like huge, crazy. I have not had a thunderstorm like that for a while. And yesterday we were out all day. We were watching my daughter's old school compete in their dance competition, and driving back, I wasn't driving luckily, but there was snow, there was freezing rain, like there was flooding, like it was awful. Awful. Yeah, more to come. Melissa says, going back to the cart in the studio, she does have a cart that houses my most useful materials. Everything else is in another room, which is fine, but also inconvenient. And Leslie says she loved it. Loved it, like as in abstract. And Melissa says, I'm really enjoying it. It feels like play. Yes. And Simon, our dog, did not enjoy the storm last night. Oh, okay. Natty says Western New York, the storm cell coming from Midwest USA. Okay, I think you got the same one as us. It kind of passed through Toronto and then went across the lake into Western New York. So I think, yeah, I think you guys were in a similar position. Oh, I do have my flat whites too. This one, see, this one is empty. This one is really empty, so I'm going to put tape on that one too. This is just going to help me because, you know, like I do save things. I save things like pots. Okay. I completely forgot about my golden flats. So I can use those as well. Maybe I'll shake that. I don't know if it shakes well. And Leslie says, yes, abstract, yes. And Nanette says, I think it's fun, play, just as Melissa said. Yes, definitely. A lot of fun play. All right. And I'm using a brush that I don't mind getting a little bit mucky, or, you know, it's okay for it to not be perfect. Okay, so I've got some really dark areas here, so I'm going to get those in. So I'm being very realistic right now, and then I'm going to cut it up. This way I know how much of these colors there are on here. So a lot of times I will squint so that I don't overthink things and just break down the shapes. And that does really help. I just want to say thank you to everybody who has purchased through my sale and also purchased next week's virtual art retreat. I will be sending out an email today with the Padlet for the virtual art retreat, and also if I know who you are on Instagram, then we have a group chat that I'll be setting up, and there will be the images in the Padlet for next week, so you can have a look at what kind of things we're going to be doing. So I usually upload them week by week so people don't get ahead too much. So that will be today. You'll get all of that today, and I really appreciate you signing up. It's going to be fantastic. I know that they are some of your dreams to travel to other places, so this way at least you can have a look. And also it's great practice for really, you know, looking at landscapes and people as well, because we do really look at the people of that country, look at their traditions. Sometimes I find traditional like dress, like what they would wear in their celebrations of traditions, and also urban and cityscapes as well. All right, I'm not gonna even touch where there's a lot of like the tree trunks, because I know that they look like they're all birches, but I can work with that when I cut this up. Like, so this is pretty much what I want, maybe a little bit darker in some places. So I'm gonna go over with my Derwents. Nick says, I'm excited. I am excited as well. I'm sorry, Nick, that it's not going to be at a time that you can do the lives. I really apologize about that. But, yeah. I have some recording to do, so I can't fit it in. And then, yeah, I'm sorry. I apologize. Nick says, replay city for me. No worries. Okay. All right. I'm not even going to do anything about the deer in this picture. Oh, maybe I will. Maybe I'll do a little bit. Let me get some brown from here and see if I can mix it. I'll mix it with the white here. Make it a little bit warmer in tone. I have some leftover yellow and red from yesterday. I am a day behind with my Mexico. So if I get some recording done with that I have to get done today, I may do a live on Substack for my Mexico, like one of my Mexicos. So that may happen, but I'm not gonna commit to it, because if I don't get this recording done that I have to get done today, then the Mexico is going to take a back seat. But it'll happen, but it may just not happen live. All right, let's just get a little bit more of a dark area in here. My acrylic is slowly drying, and then I can work with the whole cutting up. Now I've done it the same size as my double spread, because today I really want to focus on a whole mosaic of what I have, and I want to fill the 2 pages. So I'm like, if I do the same size, if I cut it up, it needs to fit back onto, it'll be like a challenge, like a survivor challenge, how to fit my pieces back in, but not, it won't look the same. Anyone a Survivor fan? Have you been watching the new season? All right. Let's take some red. And I'm going to wash my brush off and get some orange from my Derwent and mix it into that. Nick says, I was just telling my partner about the 4 places, and he said, are you sure you're not going to visit them all with her? That's funny. That would be great. Can you imagine? Oh, I think we should do like a big travel like that as well together. That would be fantastic. So the 4 places that we're visiting next week are Hungary. These are not in the right order, but we're going to Vietnam, Hungary, Tunisia, and I always forget, oh, Norway. Why do I forget Norway? Like, I shouldn't forget Norway. It's so close to my heritage country up in Scandinavia. Have you been to all of them, Nick? I know that you've been to Vietnam, Hungary. Have you been to Tunisia? I grew up with a friend whose father is Tunisian, and the food was incredible. Like, he had so much love for tradition and the food from his home country. Oh, what happened to my deer here? Okay. And let's get a little bit more green in here as well. Natty says, Melissa, our Labradoodle was pacing back and forth before the storms hit. It was interesting that she sensed the thunderstorms before coming in the evening. And Char, I like your shirt. The sleeves, the colors are pretty. Oh, thank you. I'm actually recording a floral class today. It's for Esty McLeod's colory flory combo, which I've told you guys you have to purchase through me when it happens, because that's how the artists are basically earning their money, is by, and that's, I don't think it's until June, but the classes come out, I think, at the end of April or sometime. Anyway, I'm recording a floral class, and I thought, oh, I will dress in some florals because that's going to be my inspiration today. So thank you, Natty. Melissa says, Natty hugs from Simon to Vera. And Susan says, hi, I was thinking the same thing about Char's sleeve. How is it that she doesn't get it full of paint? I've had a lot of practice over these last 5 years of lifting my arm and not putting my arm in the paint. I sit a little bit higher as well. Like I raised my table so that I can sit on a bar stool. So I'm a lot higher on my table than a regular table. And I think that helps as well. So it's a little bit about how it's set up. All right, I'm going to dry this a little bit, so bear with me. Excuse the noise. I'm just going to get a bit of the reflection in here. This is all going to be very much broken down. Nanette says, I'm wondering how we can see what everyone else is doing. Do we need to be following them on social media in order to see? And Natty says, well, Melissa, I show her Simon on DJ Ray videos, LOL. Oh. And Nick says, I wish I could take you to baths in Budapest. I remember you talking about that when we did a Another World or Around the World with you last year, and it sounds incredible. And Natty W says, oh, Char, that would be awesome. Every time an artist bring art from a country, I do a virtual walk tour on YouTube. Oh, cool. And Nick says, not yet to Tunisia or Norway. Definitely on my bucket list. And Susan said, just read that sitting on a bar stool is so much better for one's back than sitting in a chair. Ah, that's interesting. Good morning, Martina. Or good afternoon, Martina. Okay, you've come right at the right time, Martina. I'm going to be drying, so it's going to be a little bit noisy. Okay, that wasn't too, still a bit sticky here. That's okay, I'm going to cut it up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my page over and cut it up like that, because I don't want to be influenced by what is there. I feel like that way I can really just, and I'm going to try and do at least some long, yeah, this way I'm not looking at my piece. So we're trying something a little bit different. I think it'll be interesting. I may even not turn over the pieces and just take one piece at a time, mix them up, and arrange them on my page. I think that will be quite different. Oops. That's not gonna make me happy when the edge is at a diagonal. I may have to cut that down. All right, I'm going to mix all these up. Hopefully they don't stick together because some of them were a little bit sticky. Oops. And then I'm going to take one at a time. This is like a game. This is fun. All right. So I'm actually going to put a little bit of color first on here. So let me grab a piece of paper to put these on. And I'm just going to add, is that still wet? That is still wet. Oh, this one. Because I don't want the paper to be white underneath. So at least if I scrape it, I know that it's going to dry really quickly. And I can use this as just a base background for when I'm sticking them. Tomorrow is a Zoom Meet morning day. So if you're part of our subscribers, I will be updating the Zoom links. I will be updating them so that you get those. So it'll be in my pinned post on Substack, but you will get an email as well because I'll be making a new post for any updates that you need to know about. Hope that makes sense. I'll put them in the chat as well. And if you're looking for the replays, I didn't get around to making a whole new post for the replays, but I did put them in the chat on Substack, and you can access the chat through the app. But if you have the Padlet from the other day with the 3 Zoom sessions, the replays are also in there. So that's where I basically put them. If we have sessions like Zoom sessions and you haven't been able to make the Zoom sessions, but you have the link to the Padlet, that's always where I'm going to put the replays, because if there are reference photos, and I like to keep them all together. I used to have them separate and then people would get very confused with where everything was. It looks so much lighter on your screens, but it is quite dark. All right, we can get started with the fun stuff. Now Natty says, the virtual tour on YouTube is so I can learn about the history, buildings the artists show, the country the artist from. It's like a mini geography lesson. The world cultures can be so pretty. Are you just Natty W on YouTube? And Melissa says, very curious to see this process. And Reb says, of course I chose a canvas to work on today. But that's fun, Natty. I mean, fun, Reb, like to do it on a canvas. I think that's great. All right, so here's my pile of, and I'm not gonna turn it over, so I'm gonna try and see if this is gonna work. I mean, obviously it may not work because I've cut it up in a certain way that it may not work. So I'm going to just start from the right and move to the left. And then I can work over the top of it as well. I bought some more Yoo-hoo sticks. I need this one a little bit bigger. It's just gonna have to do. And it may not work, and it may work. It may be something that I will repeat in the during the month. It may be something that I will never do again, because I may have been like, "Ooh, that's not working at all." Okay, I need a small piece right over here. See, I may have to cut up some because I don't have tiny ones, so I may have to cut some up. Like slithers and edges. Yeah, Natty, let us know, do you have a YouTube channel, or this is something that you just do for you? No, that one's not long enough. Need to add more glue. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about process, because if you find a process that you like and enjoy working from or with, it may be a good idea for you to continue with that process. Like, process is everything, which I have learned from the visual arts passage, sorry. And it's something that, you know, if you're happy with your process, then keep doing that, because then it's working. So if this is something that I enjoy doing through the month, I may keep going with it and just continue with this whole strange abstract working from like the actual painting or breaking down the painting and then working like that. But they're always going to turn out a little bit different because I don't know which page or what I'm picking up, if you know what I mean. Okay, so this is on the corner. So what I'm going to do is just make sure that this is the right size because it has to fold. So I am going to have to work a little bit with my image for that. It's going to have to be a bit shorter. Natty says, no YouTube channel. I chicken out. I do for me. I wanted to travel when I was in ninth grade school. When I was in ninth grade school, trip all set to go to Italy, but something had a big layoff. So my dad was like, we can't afford to send you. What is GM? Oh, GM. I'm like, I know what GM is. Oh, well, that's sad. So hang on. So have you been doing this since you were in ninth grade? Like, this would be really interesting, Natty, for people to see. Like, is it, so you have a YouTube, you use YouTube to do this, but it's not, you don't have a channel. Like, I don't understand. Like, are do you actually film it? Like, I'm really curious because I think this would be really interesting for people to actually go on the journey with you, you know? Melissa says, I'm sure by the end of this month, I will find a way of working abstract that will feel right. Yes, I think so too. Nadia says, so then I decided I would still learn about different cultures through books, but now with YouTube, I can do virtual tours. Oh, so do you just go and see other people's virtual tours or do you do a virtual tour? Sorry if I'm asking lots of questions. I'm just intrigued because I think it's really cool that we have like a similar thing that we've been doing. So we've visited 48 countries already within my virtual art retreats. And it has been really incredible to see the different landscapes, etc. Okay, I can put this little piece, tiny little piece right here. I don't want to waste any little bits. Okay, moving on to the other one. I'm going to just cover this side because then it'll be a surprise at the end how it looks. How are we doing for time? We have 15 minutes. And Natty says, learn from books. No, I just do virtual walking tours that other people film. I'm a stay-at-home person. Well, that's really cool that you do that. It does. It makes it's very accessible to do that. Like, I kind of do that if I'm going to a place. I will do like, especially with these art retreats that I'm doing now, which are not virtual, I will go on Google Maps and I will walk the streets to see what kind of colors there are, etc., so that I get a feel for what I need to bring with me material-wise. Also to see what's around, like making sure that I know where the nearest coffee shop is. Nick says, I must try it. Yes. And Melissa says, Natty, do you have a favorite channel to watch for those videos? Okay, that's where this edge here, remember how there was like a little, it's right here, so I could use, no, I can't use that. Let's just shape this one. Oh no, I shaped it the wrong way around. Okay, I'm not going to be able to use that there. Thinking backwards to how it would be, it's going to be reversed, so it won't be like that, it'll be the other way around. Oh, I think this is actually that piece. Okay, well, that worked. I should have cut it straight. But I am going to try a lot of different ways of working with abstract because I don't want to get stuck in any yet. But I kind of like this way of working. It gives you different textures in different places. Okay, there's a slither there that I'm going to have to make. Natty says, no special channel, but when artists from our group post pictures from their country, I look up area on YouTube, walking tours, artists, photos inspire me to learn. Love when artists post pictures, Discord pictures. And then going back, Nanette, to how you can see other people's images. I have been asking people to use the hashtag Charsartclass 0425 when they post on Instagram, if they post on Instagram. And this way everybody can see what everybody else has been doing. So that is one way of seeing everybody's work. I've also been sharing in my stories if people have shared and want to have it reposted. Nanette, I don't know if you are on the group chat on Instagram that we have had, like that Patreons are on, but if you're a paying subscriber, I can add you to that. Some people have been posting on there. And then I can create a feed on, like a thread on Substack maybe for Abstract April. That would be fun too. So that would be on the chat. Maybe I'll do that today, and then we can share our images on there if you're part of that group. All right, I can see it's coming close to being finished. Can you imagine if I had less image, like less paper than there was paper? And that can happen, I think. I hope it doesn't happen. slither down here of this purple. I like how the sky, how can I have so much more paper here? That's also a little bit of a weird situation of how I can have a lot more paper. I guess there's some gaps in different places. Melissa says, I think having a chat on Substack would be a good idea. Not everyone is on IG. Yes, I think I'll do that. Natty says, I want to do the boreal forest in Canada. I don't know if I even know where the boreal forest is in Canada. You know, I thought that was in South America, but I guess I am incorrect. And Nanette says, I have to get used to checking it on IG. I'm a bit behind on how all things Instagram, and it seems to change so much. I will use the hashtag to search. Okay. But people have to remember to post the hashtag. The thing is, sometimes that hashtag, like, it shows things and it doesn't show things. So I'll put a chat, I'll put a thread on Substack as well, Nanette. And Natty says, LOL, Char, it's like when you build furniture from the store and have extra screws. Oh, furniture from the store and have leftover. Oh my God, it's so like that. It's yeah, it's like an IKEA piece. Look, I have like extras. How is that possible? I know that all these little bits probably make up those areas, but I can use them. Maybe what I'll do is, because I really like this little area, so maybe I'll just add it on top. A Substack thread would be great, thanks. Yeah, I'll do that. I'm home today, so I've got to do some recording of videos, and I can sort that out as well. Put a little bit of light up there, and then I'm going to see the whole thing together. We did well with time, everybody. How did you guys do? I'm talking for you all. Okay, what have we got left? We've got this one. We've got this one, which is a dark one. I could add that somewhere. Maybe I'll split it up and add it crossways up here. Just break up this block. And break up this block too. Susan, you're sweet. She's like, that's a great reveal. You know, I kind of really enjoyed this whole process. It definitely doesn't look like the photo. Like, this is the photo. Oh, well, no, that's okay because I have these in there as well. So very different. So this is how this one was supposed to be. But I don't mind how this one was as well. But this one was more thought out, like in positioning. But then, yeah, I do like, well, one, I love the feel of it as well. Like it feels really good. Absolutely, Melissa. Try the technique. Yeah, I think it's a really great way of breaking down an image, and also like you're painting it, right? Like you are painting it, so you've got the image there, you've got all the colors, and yeah, I really like it. I mean, it may be something that I do more of. Could always add some. You know what I didn't add, which I'm going to add now, is the birch trees. So I am going to, I can either do, oh, I have this paper still, which is fantastic for that. So I'm going to use this. So sometimes you'll find like you have things already lying around. I have a lot of papers and I keep a lot of papers, but even old sketches and old drawings that you have, I think it's really great to work with those. Plus it just means they're yours, right? So and the great thing about this technique is that it's always going to be just your image. Like it's never going to look like anybody else's. Bye, Nanette. Says, looks like fun to do after work. This was great. Thanks, Shar. Thank you. Thanks for showing up. Leslie says, very cool. And Tony Anderson. Hi, Tony Anderson. Where are you from? Says, I like it a lot. Oh, Natty says it's near Newfoundland and Labrador boreal forest. It comprises of 1.2 billion acres. Yeah, Canada is big. I think people forget how big Canada is. Well, because it kind of gets lost at the top of the map, of the world map. So I'm adding in my trees. I'm getting very messy. Natty says, have a good day, Nanette. Oops. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. And if you are watching this as a replay, please comment and let me know where you're from and what you have been doing in your art practice. Do I need one more? I think I'm going to just break up this area down here. All right. And this is Colorado. Thank you, Jennifer, for the image. I can't pick up my iPad to show everybody what the image was, but you'll see it at the beginning of the video. And Nick says, Oscar thinks it looks like Minecraft. It kind of does look like Minecraft. You could, like this, for me, like I'm looking at it now, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's a lot that I could do with this. This is really interesting. Like you could really go into like individual little images inside it. I think it's, yeah, I really like it. Natty says, I didn't realize how big Australia was until I saw it Australian landmass plotted out on the top of USA landmass. Oh, that's interesting. That would be an interesting thing to do. Melissa says, lovely. Barbara says, love it. Hippo says, hi, Deb. Oh, hi, Deb. Morning, super late, but wanted to drop in a hello, looks gorgeous shot. It was really interesting. Tony says, I see several buildings with doors and windows in this. Yeah, I think there's lots of strange oddities that you could pull out and do different things. Maybe come back to look at it and add some little elements that you wanted to add. You could, like, I think I'm going to build on this idea and try and work a little bit quicker for the first area, like try and get this done in half an hour. So the image painted, get it done, stuck on the page, and then I can work over it after the fact as well, because I think this is going to be a really nice way to work. And Deb says, I can see the Minecraft. Yeah, it does look like Minecraft. Thanks, Oscar. Leslie says, yes, like Joe Fig does with Vermeer painting, a painting within a painting. I saw that yesterday. Oh, yes. And Carolyn says, I love it. Thanks, Char. It makes me want to give it a try. Well, please tag me if you are giving it a try. I will start a thread on Substack so that you guys can, it will be for paying subscribers. So if you want to come over and join in the fun, please do. Have a really good day, everybody. Don't forget to go to Melissa's art hang party tonight, or if you want to draw some, I think they're drawing furry strange animals over on the Visual Arts Passage on Drawing Hive tonight at 7 p.m. Did I see that Dylan Sarah has a guest today, or did I miss it, or was it yesterday? For some reason I thought it was today. Deb says, it looks like each square is a window into a world. Yeah. It kind of gives you that like whole like movement within the image. And I do like the birch tree trunks as well. I think they work too. You know, I don't love everything that I do, but this one I think is definitely like something that I can pursue. And I think this is done a lot, like, so this is something that is not done too much, I don't think. And you guys get to see the process of, you know, the painting was actually there initially, so that's kind of cool. Nadia says, I see small birch trees grouping small streams and beach areas, lol. Oh, I love that you see so much in it. Thank you so much. And Nadia says, yes, Debbie, that's how I see it too. Yeah, and I don't know if you saw, Deb, like I didn't look at how I was arranging this. It was completely blind. So that is, if anybody wants to do a drawing session on Saturday with us, like on Zoom, I think this would be a really fun exploration. If you want to do one with me, then that's what we could do. I could choose a couple of images and we could either add them together, maybe a cityscape and a landscape. I will make sure it is not at the same time as Fun Draw, Free Draw Frenzy. No, what is it called? Free Draw, is it Free Draw Frenzy? On Saturday. Deb and Melissa have their free draw. Gosh, I need to free draw frenzy. It is Free Draw Frenzy. Okay, great. And remember to sign up for that. I don't think I have even, no, I have signed up for that. I will advertise it again in my story so that you know. It's at 11 a.m. So maybe I'll do a 3 p.m. of this technique, and I think we can all have fun. It would be actually really fun because what we'll be doing is using one image that I'll provide. We'll paint it, we'll cut it up, and then we'll do exactly the same. We'll have it upside down and then put it right side, like we'll just take one piece at a time. We can do it all together. So if you want to do that, I think that would be a lot of fun. Deb says, I'd love to see this on really large scale. It rewards looking at, so much to see. Yeah, I think that would be a really good painting too. Ooh, Melissa says, Shar, I have a great idea. Okay, are you going to tell us here, or do you want to message me? Will you record the Saturday session for the... Yes, absolutely. I'll record it. We should all do this, but send you the pieces and then you can create a master version. Oh, that would be really cool. We could do that. That would be really fun. Oh, I'd love to receive all that in the mail. Let's do a huge collab. Okay, let's get this done. We're going to do a big collab session. So we'll do 2 images on Saturday. We'll do one that we all do together and create an image so that you have something. And then we'll do one and we'll cut them up and then you can mail me all the pieces and I'll create a big canvas full of them. Yay! So fun. Thank you. Melissa's wheels are turning. Yes, I feel like, Melissa, we have similar brains where we're like, ooh, what else can we do, and that's because you guys are all into doing fun things as well, so thank you. Anyway, remember to tag Charsartclass 0425 if you're posting on social media. I will create a thread on Substack and I will see you guys tomorrow if you're in Zoom, and if not on Saturday, and if not next Monday, and if not next Tuesday live on YouTube. Bye everybody.